YouTube. We're back at it one more game for your head top. You know what I'm saying? We got a Puti review of Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. Okay, I brought my man Lou with me,
What up?
LuNievesJr. Okay,
We here.
he has some strong thoughts on this, so I figured, hey, let's
Oh,
bring him on. Why not? Okay, we obviously don't agree
man.
on this one.
Yeah. Would it be a Puti review if I wasn't here?
At least for the MCU stuff, no. Okay, so we're gonna get into this.
I could talk about Halo too.
Here's the
Forget
thing.
Jovi and West.
Here's the
Yeah,
thing.
I said it.
I feel like we should give our thoughts non-spoiler first for this one because there is a lot of
This
spoilers.
is the hardest part.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So this will be the short part. We'll keep it nice and simple, nice and sweet,
Mhm.
and then we're gonna get into spoilers, and I'll give you guys a warning before that. So Lou, give your non-spoiler review.
All right, so I'm gonna give you that experience. Uh, Going into this film, it was major hype. Everyone was suspecting things, and then there was trailers, and then there were TV spots, and then there were more TV spots, and it just kept giving away more and more info. And I loved it. I enjoyed it. I'm like, if they're giving us this, imagine what's really in the film. So the anticipation was up there. The expectation was even higher than I anticipated. And getting there, I was excited. My wife is with me. We're watching packed theater. And I will say, when the credits rolled, not one person clapped. When the credits rolled, people were like, "What was that?" It wasn't just me. The entire theater was quiet. There were two moments in the theater where me and another gentleman that was sitting behind me were like, oh, that was it. For the most part, I was highly upset, and it may be because of what I thought was going to happen. But overall, I thought even some of the CGI was a little bit iffy. There are people all over social media like, don't blame the visual effects people, blah, 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 blah. This is Disney we're talking about. There's millions, billions of dollars that they have, and you're going to give me this product? And then they say, oh, this is Sam Raimi. This is what he does. Yeah, I'm sure, because I remember watching Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, and they were all trash. This is what I'm going to get. And he hasn't done a film in like 12 years, and this is the one film he does, and originally he wasn't even the director. They just pulled him in, so nobody even wanted him. But for the most part, I thought the actors did an amazing job. This was not a Doctor Strange film. And that's not even a spoiler, but it kind of is. But just understand what I'm trying to tell you. He was the B player. He was the supporting actor in this film. America Chavez, 2 lines, waste of an actress. I thought Scarlet Witch did a phenomenal job. She surpassed some of these great villains that we saw. You know what I mean?
All right, shout out to spoilers. Let's go.
That wasn't a spoiler. I think we all knew she was going to be a villain. I don't think she was going to be the main one, but yeah, sorry if that's a spoiler. But I think from all the trailers and TV spots, she was the one, like, you know, giving off those Scarlet Witch, I'm going to kill everybody vibes. You know what I'm saying? The way she was like, if you do it, nobody cares. If I do it, it's wrong. Is that fair? And I was like, oh gosh, she's the villain. Fuck this. So anyway, other than that, I thought this could have been a TV series, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
All right. So don't listen to anything that Lou said.
So he's just gonna delete everything I said.
It is a Doctor Strange movie. He's hating for no reason.
Lies.
See, so I've said it before. This is Lou's issue. So he loves Twitter. Twitter's his favorite app, and he looks for every single spoiler, every single thing.
I do not.
It
go
always
looking
pops
for it.
up
It
on his
happens.
timeline. I keep telling him, yo, block the keywords so you don't see it. He doesn't listen to me. Either that or he just doesn't know how to really use Twitter.
I don't know how to use Twitter yet.
So he sees all these things and he expects certain things that weren't going to happen in the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I thought it was.
I can't believe it, bro.
I thought it was a solid film. I don't think it was the greatest thing ever. Um, but it wasn't as terrible as Lou is making it out to be. I would say go watch it for yourself.
Yeah, I
Um,
recommend that too. I go recommend it.
I think the theater experience is worth it to go experience that in theaters, whether you're by yourself or with your friends. I went by myself because I'm out here. Um, and
Do
yeah,
you have to go watch it in theaters?
so now listen. Don't listen to Lou. Don't go for the illegal websites, right? The
I didn't.
whatever,
I didn't even say anything about that. I don't know about that stuff.
whatever. How else are they gonna watch it? Yeah,
Wait
yeah,
for it to
exactly.
come out on digital.
That's too long. Look,
You could wait. Like nothing happens
nah,
in this film.
a lot of things happen in
Nothing
this film.
prolongs the story. No, it
He's
doesn't.
such a
Stop lying to them,
liar.
Chris.
No,
You're
you're
setting him
lying.
up for
Hold
failure.
on, see, because now we gotta talk about spoilers. I'm not setting him up for failure. There's probably
Yeah,
some shit
you
that
are.
you don't even understand as
I
to
understand.
what's
I did all my
prolonging.
research.
No, you didn't. So let's
I did.
talk. Let's talk about it. All right.
All right, you gonna tell them spoilers now?
Yes. Spoiler alert ahead. Be careful because Lou's gonna spoil everything. He's gonna call it trash. Okay. So
Uh-huh.
go ahead, get into it. I hear the frustration in your voice. Go.
The problem is everything. This is WandaVision season 2. In the multiverse of madness. That's all this is. It's her motives to get her children that she made up in her mind. I don't know who's worse. Is it Moon Knight from the fucking multiple personalities or this woman that created kids that don't even exist? But they exist in other multiverses, right? So she's hunting down America Chavez, who can create stars like fucking Super Mario Brothers to go into other fucking universes, right? And she's chasing her down. Doctor Strange goes to her and says, "Hey, there's a monster trying to get her." And she's like, "Oh, America Chavez?" He's like, "I never told you her name." And she's like, everything turns red. And he's like, "I can't believe what you're doing," and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, we get the moral of the story. Now we understand she's the main villain. There's no Mephisto. There's no Nightmare. There's no any of these anticipations that were going to be mentioned.
No, what made you think that was going to happen?
All right. So before they let go of the original director, they said this was going to be a horror film. And then being that it's Doctor Strange, there was some rumors that Scarlet Witch was going to be a villain alongside someone else that's greater than her. I think those things got scrapped because there were creative differences by the studio and the original director who then got let go. I don't remember his name, right? Now comes Sam Raimi. Him and Kevin Feige are friends. Kevin Feige first produced on Spider-Man 1. This is how their relationship started to build. That's besides the point. Now, with that being said, they go into this film where like anything can go. And I like that idea. You go right into Defender Strange and he's fighting some crazy shit. I don't know what you call it. And then America Chavez don't know how to use her powers. This is granted. She's just starting. Like she just came and she doesn't know how to control these things. Defense Strange tries to kill her because she don't know how to use her powers. She freaks out. She goes into another universe, which happens to be the Doctor Strange we know from the MCU. That's just how it all starts. He fights this big ass octopus that we saw in Marvel's What If, which was still an okay TV show. There's some things that I had problems with, but that's besides the point.
I don't think that was the same octopus though.
I don't know if it's the same octopus, but it looked exactly the same that he fought, right? In one of the episodes in What If. Then they say, "Oh, watch Loki." You did not need to watch Loki to understand this film. Then him and and what was the other Wong? He's going there. They're fighting. They kill this fucking big gigantic octopus. The CGI looked bad, and it was just hard to watch. I felt like I was watching X-Men 1 when it first came out by Bryan Singer, that horrible director, by the way. Then they start fast pacing things. Things starts moving. Wanda comes into this sacred place. You have all the like what do they call them?
The wizards, the magicians.
The wizards, so to speak. Yeah, and they fight with Scarlet Witch, and that's when we start going into different universes.
Or whatever.
Yeah. So now we go into different universes, and I'm like, oh, this shit is picking up. What I didn't like was once we got to the planet, I think it was 616. We find out that the Doctor Strange there died, but we don't know all the story. He gets brought into his home would look like in our sanctum, yeah. And he is met with a potential villain, which was the end of the first Doctor Strange. I forgot the guy's name. Mortal. He has the dreads now. He's like, come in. He
It's not the same
fucking gets
guy.
them.
It's the one from that
I know it's
universe.
a different one, but it, whatever. He gets them drunk. America Chavez does bad acting at this point. She's like, what is that?
He doesn't
Like,
get
it's not
them
even
drunk.
a fall like
He
this.
poisoned their drink.
Ugh. She like, what was that?
They were poisoned. This guy said he got them drunk. They were drinking tea.
So then we meet the Illuminati. This was the hype. We already knew from what we saw. We Captain Marvel. We already saw
Captain
what's her
Carter.
name? Captain Carter. We saw the fucking chair of Professor X, and we heard his voice. So then that left us with 3 more who we thought were show up, right? And from the comic
But we
books,
knew Mortal too. Mortal was in it.
yeah, but I didn't know he was gonna be part of the Illuminati. So I'm assuming we're gonna get, obviously, we're gonna get from what we saw in the comic books, Iron Man, a version of Iron Man, a version of Reed Richards from Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic, and then either Black Bolt or somebody else, right? There's variations of the Illuminati. It was fire the way they introduced everybody in a way, right? Especially with the old 1990s animated X-Men series and the fucking yellow chair, the green suit, Professor
and the music
X.
when he came in was so good. I was like, yeah.
I was like, yeah, let's go. This is what we wanted. And my wife looks at me like, what's going on? I was like, oh, you didn't watch the cartoon. So, so then we get introduced to Black Bolt, which is from the Inhumans. If you don't know, it was supposed to be a movie. They put into a TV show. It fucking flopped. And then we get introduced to Reed Richards, everyone's fan favorite. I was fucking going nuts. We get John Krasinski, who everybody wanted to be Reed Richards and have, run and be the leader of the Fantastic Four
for years now.
Bro, who would have thought we would have got like, this is something that the fans asked for and we got. Like, that never happens. You know what I'm saying? Right. And maybe 2 other people in the theater lost their shit. That means not everybody in the theater knew what was going on. They were just like, we're just casual fans. The 3 of us were losing our shit. Like, oh shit. But I just love like how calm he looked, how like, he was confident too. Kind of like the way Tony Stark was, kind of like the way Doctor Strange was, arrogant, being arrogant. Yeah. And you saw that. I fucking loved it, man. And then they tell Doctor Strange how he died. And that scene where Black Bolt just rips him apart just by opening his mouth, blows him to bits. And you saw like Thanos being stabbed with his own sword, different variations of how this happened. That was fire. All that stuff was great. The actors look great. I think that everyone did an amazing job here. But then the fight scene happened, and this is probably the greatest, bloodiest, goriest. Yo, every time something happened, I lost my mind. I said, no way they let this should have been rated R.
Bro, I was in my theater, like, losing my mind. I was just like, what?
Because we never saw that, right?
What? What? I was like, no way. Yo, crazy.
And it happened so fast.
I love it.
But we never saw it. So seeing this, I was like, hell yeah, give me more of this. I will love the MCU even more. It was a different level because the things the MCU has done up until this point, a lot of it was unheard of. The Avengers bringing all these superstars together, and then the Endgame bringing more superstars together for this big battle. We never saw this before. So seeing the way Scarlet Witch just ripped through them goes to show how powerful she really is, right?
Mind you, hold on. I don't think it makes it even worse that it wasn't actually her. She was dreamwalking in a different body. So
that's how powerful.
This one didn't even have the tapped in potential that the actual Scarlet Witch had.
Yeah, the Scarlet Witch, who had all the knowledge already prior to the one that she took over, is even more incredible, right? And she, Reed Richards says, he can take you out with one, he'll open his mouth, he'll kill you, some shit like that. And she's like, what mouth? And
oh my, that was a bar, bro. Oh.
But at that moment, I'm like, why the hell would you tell her what he can do? But it's how arrogant he was. And I think people forget about that because he is the smartest man in the world in this universe. So he feels he's
not even just that. Not even just that. They were all arrogant. Captain Carter was arrogant as hell. Captain Marvel, arrogant as hell, was like, yeah, let your little Scarlet Witch come here. We'll be ass. Like, we got it. You know what I mean? They were all like, man, that's nothing. We defeated worse than that. Like, please stop.
Yeah.
Like, we beat you. You feel me? Like, because they were more concerned with Strange because of who they knew Strange to be in their universe.
Yeah.
that they were like, yo, Scarlet Witch is nothing. Like, stop playing.
So you're right. Like that, they all thought they were the shit, and they got their shit rocked. And then fucking Reed Richards turns into spaghetti, bro. So many memes on that. It's so funny. And I was like, oh, the way he went out, it just looked weird. What?
Man said,
and
fucking the Twizzlers that you peel apart. That's what he was.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, fine. Nobody's gonna win this. So fucking Captain Carter gets split in half. Crazy. Gone. You had Miss Marvel, not Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel.
Yep.
She gets like thrown, what was that? Like a big statue thrown on top of her. She's done.
Yeah, and she really, the only reason she really died was because Wanda's powers, she can steal your power, like your energy. Yeah. If you're an energy source. So she basically, like, if you're watching the fight, Captain Marvel and her were going at it. Like, that was probably the more evenly matched fight. She was holding her own, but then
Wanda, the cosmic power.
Wanda said, yo, hold up, give me that cosmic power real quick. And you could see the glow leaving Captain Marvel's body.
Yeah, and like the armor falling off. It was fire. Smushed. So then we meet, for some reason, I don't know why I thought this, Professor X comes in and he's like trying to get into her brain, right?
Well,
he's trying to control her. Yeah, but he's trying to, like, you know, control her. He's done this before, so he's believing that he can do this, right? So I'm like, he's walking in, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know why I thought this, but I thought this, like, will Magneto show up? Like, will the father of her show up? But this storyline and the way MCU did it, mutants were not a thing. So because they didn't have the rights to Fox at the time when they did Avengers Age of Ultron. So he gets his neck like snapped off.
No,
right?
She didn't snap his neck. She ripped his head off. Yeah,
but if you look at that scene, she rips his head off in that sidekick shit, right? But the way she like rolled up behind him was very like terrifying, like horror-like.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was fire. All that was fire. That whole shit was fire. But it didn't live up to the hype, and this is why I'm upset.
You mean it didn't live up to the hype? Because
when the dust settled, it was mentioned that Tom Cruise was gonna do this, but because of a work schedule, he couldn't come in. So for those that don't know, Tom Cruise was originally like casted to play.
No, they never said that.
Bro, I'm on Twitter more than you. Trust me. It came out that there was conflicts for the scheduling.
No,
it just couldn't happen.
The writer came out and said he wanted Tom Cruise to do it, but they scrapped it. They never even talked about it in the writing room.
No, then you read the wrong source.
No, it's the writer. What do you mean?
But this was a fan favorite for a while, even after hearing that he was going to be casted before Robert Downey Jr. But he didn't do it, Tom Cruise, right? And he didn't show up. So I'm like, all right, fine. I was expecting others to show up. I didn't think Captain Carter was going to be there at all until, like, I thought she just showed up in that TV spot. I didn't think she was part of the Illuminati. Besides that, fast forwarding, now, you know, we have Doctor Strange fighting his different Stranges, and which one was it with the third eye? Towards the end when they're fighting with the notes. I'm not
sure. I know a lot of people were saying it was Supreme. I don't think it was Supreme Strange. Because Supreme Strange is trapped inside the thing in What If. I don't know what Strange that was.
But I didn't like that fight scene with the music notes. It felt comical. I didn't take it serious. I did like Doctor Strange, you know, going into dream walking and then becoming like that zombie Doctor Strange. That shit was fire. That all looked really good. So most of it, the CGI was trash, but that particular scene was really well put together. There was a scene in there where he's like about to die. He looks back at her, at America Chavez. And I'm like, oh my God, how can I take this serious? But overall, I didn't enjoy it. I thought it could have been better. My wife fell asleep. We'll get into the end credits, but for the most part, there was just the pacing, the dialogue. There was just too many things going on, and this was not a Doctor Strange film overall. I'm sorry I took up too much of your time.
You took a lot, but I'm still gonna go in. So I still feel like it's a Doctor Strange movie. I think his arc and the growth in the character itself was heavy in this movie. You know, he went from being super arrogant, not trusting anybody, doing everything on his own, to being able to trust literally everybody around him. Not only America Chavez, Wong, like especially at the end when he bowed to Wong, that to me was super like deep for his character.
But it took the end of the film to do that, though.
It's
Like they have
called
to
an
go through all
arc.
that shit.
Yeah, obviously it's a movie.
I know.
What do you mean? He's gonna do that in the middle of the movie and not learn anything throughout the movie? That makes no sense, Lou. Stop it. All right. It's definitely a Doctor Strange movie. He learned a lot throughout the process. He met a bunch of versions of himself. He became a different version of himself that was a zombie, which was dope.
I was fire. Yeah, I will admit that. That shit was fire.
That
we saw that in the trailer. It was no surprise.
Oh my god.
Go ahead.
I like Scarlet Witch's arc.
Fire.
Where they took her character after her series. I know a lot of people were confused, like, oh, but she redeemed herself. I was like, no, she didn't. I was like, first of all, at the end of her show, she just dipped on the town. She didn't even say sorry to everybody that she took over. She just left. She said, "Oop, I don't want to deal with it. Bye, gone." Yeah, so she got a hold of the Darkhold. It started corrupting her. Mad demons taking over her body, and she just became super powerful. Mad sorceress, witch, legit Scarlet Witch. You know what I'm saying? Even the part where they get to the, where she smokes everybody at Carmitage. She was putting in mad work. First of all, she had to fight an entire army and was just packing them up. And then even the scene where he puts her in a different dimension kind of thing. It wasn't the mirror dimension per se, but it was like a kind of like a prison, I would say, right? Where he locked her in and she started like, it was straight out of a comic book where she was like, oh, I got to get out of this through, figuring out touching, boom. And she touches the thing, it turns into like liquid. And then she's just using the reflections. Ooh, that scene was crazy to me. Even though when she crawled out, that was probably the worst CGI of the entire movie, but I'm okay with it because I get why. That's hard to, like, she looked like It the Clown,
Bro, she looked like The Ring, bro, coming out of the TV.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what she like.
But she was supposed to be evil. Like, it was supposed to have the horror vibes. I even like the Doctor Strange versus Doctor Strange fight with the music. It felt like I get why you don't like it, but to me, it felt like it was straight out of the comic book. Like, to me, this movie felt like a comic book movie. Like some of the, like, certain things look like straight out of the pages of a comic book. I know you don't read comic books, so you don't really care.
No, I don't care about Doctor Strange. My main comic book was Spider-Man, so I didn't read every one.
Right. So me, I like a lot of these scenes
read different books.
It came straight out of the comic book, bro. It was beautiful. Like, I like certain things.
Yeah.
And even just the way it ended, where kind of everybody's arc had a different thing. Like, we don't really know what's gonna happen with Wanda. They never. I mean, you know how Marvel works. We don't know.
Even she doesn't know, the actress.
Right.
She doesn't know.
She just signed on for 7 more years or whatever. So we don't know how they're gonna use her in the future. We don't know if she's dead or not. It looked like she died, but we never know.
Yeah, she fucking had the thing fall on top of her.
And then with the multiverse situation, now they're bringing in the incursion situation where they explained it a little bit in the what's it called? Where they were talking to the Illuminati with Doctor Strange, why certain things happen because he caused an incursion. That's why he was too powerful. He couldn't do it. Yada yada yada. And that's where the mid-credit scene comes into play. Now, do you know the character that was in the mid-credit scene? Go ahead, tell me.
Charlize Theron.
No, the character, not the actor.
I was getting there, Christopher.
You weren't.
She's been casted to play a future love interest who then in the comic books gets married to Doctor Strange. I remember her, Clea.
Yeah, there you go.
See, I do my research, you know what I'm saying?
Research.
Yeah. So, of course, after doing my research, because I didn't know what the fuck was going on, as soon as the movie ended,
you were lost. You were like, who is that?
Like,
you were like, who is that when she first showed up?
She asked me, I'm like, I have no clue. I got to watch some videos tonight. And thankfully, people that follow on YouTube, they informed me what the fuck happened, and I loved it. The idea of where it can go is not confirmed, but the idea of where the comic books bring it, as far as the Secret Wars are concerned, it's gonna be amazing, right? Like, we're gonna get another Infinity War Endgame kind of thing with multiple characters. I can't wait for that. And I never read the comic books. I don't know what Secret Wars can be,
right?
But I know it's like all these superheroes fighting each other. It's insane, and that and that mid credit was lame because nobody really knows this.
Right.
If you're a comic book head, you would know. But if you're an MCU
I
person
knew
like
off her
myself,
costume alone. I was like, nice. Let's go, Strange.
and I was like, everybody, I'm telling you, everybody in the theater, I don't think anybody read the comic books in the theater because everybody's like, what the fuck was that? No one was like cheering, oh my God. No one did anything. They were just like, huh? So then we were anticipating the end credit.
And it was a joke. It was funny.
Bro, I was like, I can't believe we wasted 5 minutes sitting here. Everybody felt the same way. We were like, fuck this shit. This movie's trash. And everyone was upset.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. See,
so like you enjoyed that 5 second of like, you're causing an incursion. Come with me if you want to live. And then the fucking ugly third eyeball that looks horrible pops up. And he's like, flips his scarf and he becomes Doctor Strange. You're like, yeah. He doesn't say nothing. He just, yeah, okay, I guess. Fuck. Go to fight Dormammu again, whatever the guy's name is. Isn't that Dormammu's daughter or something?
His niece.
His niece. Yeah.
Dormammu.
Stupid. So stupid.
Not stupid. It's great.
I didn't even like the first Doctor Strange film, so I wasn't.
You just don't like Doctor Strange. I was hoping
this was gonna be great. No, I think
like
Doctor Strange is great.
Liar.
I loved him in Spider-Man, and I loved him in
He's
Infinity
barely in
War.
Spider-Man.
But for the most part, the parts that he was in, I enjoyed. I enjoy Cumberbatch. All right. Benedict Cumberbatch. I like him. Doctor Who.
All right, so out of 10, Puti Fritos, what do you rate this movie? Go ahead.
No, you didn't even say what you thought about the stupid incursion 2-second mid-credit scene.
I liked it. It introduced Clea. Crazy?
Okay, but my question is, how does this put it in perspective? In Phase 4, has anything gave us the future, or this is what your cousin Soups was saying? Nothing feels connected like the way the first 3 phases felt.
First of all, the first phase did not feel connected at all. Stop it.
Well, some of it did, yeah, because you had fucking
no.
Second out. Oh, you want to join the Avengers?
People have to stop with it. The first phase of Marvel was fucking garbage. Okay.
Iron Man 1 is a classic. Stop the hate.
What else outside of Avengers is really fucking good in that first phase? Tell me right now. You're lying to yourself.
What was in Phase 1 again? It was
Incredible Hulk, Thor, Captain the First Avenger, and Avengers. Out of
Avengers was fire.
Iron Man and Avengers are the only two. The rest of Phase 1 was terrible, and it did not feel connected. Did Captain America feel super connected to everything else?
No, I hated that film.
Did Thor feel super connected to everything else?
I hate it.
No.
And fucking Hulk was horrible too.
So I think this is my issue with everybody, right? Everybody's complaining about
Tell us
Phase
how you
4.
feel.
You have to understand, they just finished a major arc
I get it.
in the
it's
story.
Hard to live up to that. Yeah.
Not even living up to it. They're not trying to live up to it. They're starting a new one. So you got to think they're doing a bunch of origin stories, a bunch of they're introducing characters so that eventually they can connect. So I think people are going into things thinking, oh, we're going to keep getting the same stuff that we've been getting for the past probably 2 phases, right? But like even then, Guardians of the Galaxy didn't really feel connected during the entire to the entire MCU until Infinity War.
The Infinity Stone thing, yeah.
Right, but that's it.
Yeah.
So same thing with this. There's certain things that are connecting, yes.
I get it.
But overall, it doesn't feel connected because it's a bunch of origin stories. It's introducing a new arc, which is the multiversal stuff. And they have a bunch of stories that they're trying to tell. They got the Secret Wars. They got, what's it called? They got other teams that they're trying to build up. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on that they're introducing. So I think
now the TV shows too.
Right.
You know, we're going to get Miss Marvel soon.
As fans, I think we got to have some patience and not think that everything's going to be so because they're trying to do the introduction of certain characters and certain themes and certain storylines so that eventually it can build up to this whole thing with King the Conqueror and all this extra stuff and all the, they're bringing in stuff from Fox, the X-Men, Deadpool. They just brought back all the Marvel TV shows, including Inhumans, which people did not like. They brought that back. They brought back Daredevil, Kingpin. They're connecting a bunch of different stuff. And I think as fans, we have to have patience with Marvel, especially because Kevin Feige gave us some of the greatest stuff. Trust the guy, okay? Don't give up. Have some patience.
Not DC.
And lower your expectations. Get off of Twitter, Lou. All right.
No,
Get
Twitter's
off
my
of
friend.
Twitter
I
or
love
block
having the
the
bird on
stuff
my side.
that's gonna ruin a movie for you. I'm going into a lot of this stuff with no crazy expectations because I just want to enjoy the movie. I enjoyed this movie. So out of 10 Puti Fritos, what did you give it?
I'm gonna give this a 6.
6 out of 10 Puti Fritos.
6 out of 10 because it did not live up to the expectations of the entire world.
Of the Lu world. Because I loved it. All right.
I know a lot of people
10 out
love
of
it.
10.
I don't
No,
care.
let me stop.
I was about to say,
I gave it a solid 8 out of 10 Puti Fritos. That's a very enjoyable movie. It's better than the
so a
first
different
Doctor
movie than me,
Strange.
guys. Trust me. You got an extended version.
Go
director's
watch it
cut.
for yourself. Do not listen to me or Lou, and come up with your own review. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like bringing Lou on because we may agree on certain things, but you know,
like we did on Sonic. We enjoyed Sonic.
right? But certain things we don't, and it's always a good time. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit your boys up for some follows on social medias. Everything will be down below. Now me, we out of here. You know the vibes, baby. Hey,
Peace.